And thanks to Specialty Chemicals conference team and also Chemtech team for allowing me to participate in the conference and to present the paper. So I just wanted to introduce you Polyrio Clean Energies and what options we offer on sustainability and clean energy productions. So we'll go through the slides. It will give you more ideas. About us, Polyrio Clean Energies, we are a Canadian manufacturer of additives to biomass, cogeneration, and thermal power plants, and waste incineration plants. And we are Polyrio, we are a Canadian specialty chemical raw material manufacturer, and we supply to various industries in a global network of with a global network of distributors serving North America, South America, Africa, Middle East, and Asia. So what is energy? In physics, energy is the quantitative property that must be transferred to an object in order to perform work or to heat the object. Today, energy is produced from solar, wind, nuclear, hydroelectric, battery, and natural gas sources. Also, we produce energy from diesel, coal, biomass, black liquor, cogeneration boilers, and municipal waste. What we offer fireside additives. Our fireside additives actually, designed to optimize efficiency and the cost effectiveness of operations, to complete and improve fuel combustion, reduce unburned carbon in the ash, control corrosion, deposits, slagging, and clinker formation, reduce airborne pollution and emission, reduces the tendency of hard clinker formation, reduce boiler maintenance, improve long-term boiler operation, promote smoke-free combustion at lower excess air levels, anti-fouling agents. And the industries we serve, we cover pulp and paper industries, power plants. The power plants, biomass power plants, cogeneration power plants, diesel plants, coal-fired plants, and waste incineration plants. And so we specialized in reducing the deposit on thermal efficiency, combined chemistry and physics to reduce deposit formation, enhance the combustion and efficiency of chemical recovery and biomass cogeneration boilers. So we help to preventive maintenance, formulate, manufactures, and market specialty chemicals for that. Our custom formulated products improve combustion chemistry. And then we also do photographic inspections, chemical analysis of deposits and fuel, compilation of the operations. What we do we start with, before starting any program, our service engineers, we survey, we do a understanding what is happening on the particular situation, particular plant. Then we do a drawing, sketch the cycle. Then we create the graphs, pressure or temperature, how things are happening in the boiler or thermal plant. Then we collect the ash samples. Then we do a modifications, and then we do the future monitoring of the plant. So what we do in the pulp and paper, biomass is the pulp and paper. Once the pulp is taken, what they get is the black liquor. So the black liquor is burned, and they are called chemical recovery boilers. So we do treatment on chemical recovery boilers, fluidized bed boilers, and solid grade boilers. So this is the result, like one case study we did on a combustion engineering boiler, a recovery boiler, and the boiler rated at 536,700 pounds of steam, 3 million pounds per day of solids, and the temperature was 400 degrees Celsius. Solid fired 68 to 70 degrees Celsius, 68 to 70%. The boiler was unable to operate more than 100 days. due to plugging. That was the challenge they had. And then they were getting approximately 6 feet thick hard deposits on the superheater areas. And the tubes were getting damaged. So this was the problem they faced. So this is the graphical situation. They were getting the high pressure buildup during the processing. So we did a treatment, and with the treatment, they were able to run the boiler and improve the efficiency at least 50%. So what happened? What was the reason for the change? So we did an ash modification, a blend of specialty chemical products at the oxidizing zones, and that is what we did actually. So we did an analysis of the ash, and we'll go to the next slide. So what we did is a composition of the ash, and they had a thicker deposit. So the ash was reaching a sticky point at 600 degrees Celsius. Then we injected an additive, and the additive was forming eutectic and cleavage planes. And the additive also modified the fusion temperature of the ash. So what happened? The subsequent layers of ash was separated from the previous one. So method of injection. So how we injected the ash modification chemical. So the injection deposition of magnesium carbonate and hydroxide created a different type of ash. The modification was done with the transition metal oxides, and it helped to form the cleavage planes. So this is the calculations, how much is solid and how things were happening. The deposit formed in 30 seconds. With the ash modification, it was totally different. So it was able to, prevent the it was able to prevent the deposit on the tubes. So what was the additive impact? So we also did a chemical audit. Is there any change on the white liquor in the pulp and paper, so there is no impact. There was no impact on the chemicals. The remainder of the product was absolutely okay, and the transition earth metal they were able to separate it out in the final stage. The other we also did a biomass boiler case study. So this the bed temperature was 1400 degrees to 1650 Fahrenheit. Steam rotation 207 tons per hour. Pressure was 650, and so we treated with one of our chemical called KB1 with a fluidized bed boiler. They also had the similar problem, like a heavy deposits 2 to 3 feet thick on a refractory. So here also we did the same thing, sample collection, sample analysis, injection, and the solution. So here also, like expected, before it was full deposits. With our additive treatment, they were able to avoid that type of deposits. So this is the chemical analysis of ash percentage, and then we were able to do modification based on the chemical content of the ash. So the answer was our chemical KB1 to be added to the fluid before to the fuel. So this graph shows the pressure versus time. So before the treatment, you could see a pressure buildup in the boiler, whereas after the treatment, it's like a steady. So steam production came straight. So over the period, the KB1, the operating time of the boiler has been changed, and it's gone up. So that there was no deposits. So it created a lot of benefits. So why Polyrio Clean Energies? The future of power generation lies in the field of biomass boilers. Our scientific approach to ash modification prolongs operating days of the boilers, cleaner heat transfer surfaces, and less use of auxiliary fossil fuels. These factors will improve the boiler efficiency and lowering cost of power generation. The percentage of cost savings varies from installation to installation. So the next we move to coal power plants. So this gives you the percentage of coal power plants in USA. I don't have the data for India. So today, around more than 30% of the power is still produced through coal power plants. And you can see the geographic locations in US where the coal power plants are situated. And like in some provinces, most of the power is produced from coal power plants. So in the coal boilers also, they had the problem of slag formation and corrosion. So we did a ash analysis, and we also did the same type of treatment proposal. So they can, they can improve the efficiency of production. So this is a schematic picture of a coal power plant. So coal is being added, then they have a boiler, then they have stacks, then the electricity is being converted from the coal power stations. So the next challenge is municipal waste incineration. In North America, most of the municipal wastes are actually incinerated comparing to rest of the world. So they convert the municipal waste into power. Actually, it's a good technology. They use most of the power stations here. So it's an efficient way of reduce the waste volume and demand for landfill space. And incineration plants can be located close to the center of gravity of waste generation. It reduces the cost of waste transportation. Incineration of waste containing heavy metals is a little bit challenging, but this can be also managed. And the energy can be converted to heat or power. So all waste alternative eventually decompose. They convert that to either to carbon dioxide or methane. So in the waste incineration, it is going to carbon dioxide directly. And incineration provides the best way to climate methane gas emissions. And incineration is one of the best way to manage the waste, especially in cities. Most of the cities in India, you can see the waste pileups in Indian locations. So once again, municipal waste incineration is one of the best way of disposing the waste, and this also shows the schematic how things happens. So what are the emissions? It might create sulfur dioxide, nitride, NO2s, NO3s, but there are technologies which can overcome all this type of emission problems. We are already treating few of the municipal waste incineration facilities with our additives. So this gives you a conventional versus cogeneration power plant. Cogeneration means it heat and electricity production plants. So if it's a heat and electricity combined plant, they have 70% efficiency, whereas a typical just power plant is giving 33% efficiency on a fuel. It's about my presentation. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer.
Now, you mentioned 2 or 3 different technologies. My question to you would be, you are familiar with the Indian industry and the Indian chemical industry. How can these be employed in India where there are, hundreds of thousands of boilers of different sizes, different functions? And I can imagine that even a marginal increase in efficiency of these boilers could go a long way in saving fuel, reducing carbon footprint, what have you. So what would be your thoughts on, are there any specific types of boilers that you would encourage the industry to try your additives on, or does it apply to all sorts of boilers?
My answer is it applies to all type of boilers. But I think the first stage is the mentality, the attitude towards emissions, because we are doing this type of treatment in North America, mainly in Canada, USA. So the government regulations are very strict here, so they don't allow to have carbon monoxide or soot particles or furans or any dioxins or any type of cyclic chemicals going through their chimneys. So the industry is forced to treat and make a full energy out of what they are feeding. They are not allowed to send emissions out. But this type of restrictions are not there mainly in India. So this gives some of the industries they don't have to do any type of treatment. This is one side of the story. The other side, with the treatment, they can improve the energy. They can take the maximum out of every carbon. So every unburned carbon is energy thrown out. So if they have like a 10% of unburned carbon or 5% of unburned carbon, this is like a lot of energy and a lot of money. So this can, they can benefit a lot. They can improve the performance. Maybe they can save millions of dollars. We don't know, but everybody has to study whether they are utilizing every carbon input being used as, and is converted as carbon dioxide. If any carbon is going as unburned carbon soot or carbon monoxide, it is an unburned situation. It's an energy loss.